Hi everyone, I'm Matilda Kitabwala.
And I'm Mitch Canefo, and this is the third of our 3 new shows here on PNN.
This show is called Pride of Parkland and is dedicated to the students and staff at the high school that show why Parkland High School is a place to be proud of.
In this show, you'll see a senior artist who has earned national recognition, and his work will be showcased on a billboard near you soon.
Also, did you know that we have incredible things happening during the school day, every day, including all of the exciting changes right here on the new Parkland News Network?
Let's not waste any more time. Here's our first ever Pride of Parkland.
What first went through your mind when you saw the actual GoBoard?
I haven't seen the billboard yet. It's been up for a while, but I haven't drove past it. But what it will be like is just to start cheering up, you know. No, I'm kidding. I definitely will be like really excited when I do see it though. I had an idea in my head, but it was very like not cubist, but like graphic. And then I took that, and I knew because it was going to be on a billboard, people wouldn't understand that. It would be kind of hard to see because of how long it is. Like I would have to like fix things up. So I made it more like realistic, so people could see like more human qualities to it, and like they could connect more with it. Well, me being young too, sadly I don't have a lot of knowledge on my belt, but at the same time, it's the more you work, the better you're gonna get at anything you want to do, you know what I mean? And then his body with his head, this little stick figure head, and his legs are going into the water, but at the same time it's a big head too.
Just after Labor Day weekend, something special happened in this room and on this set, which is actually a virtual set using a green screen. Don't believe us? Watch. Pretty cool, right?
The brand new Parkland News Network was started. A new logo was created. A new YouTube channel was started, so viewers could watch shows like this on their phones or computers whenever they want.
And we opened up our studio doors to other students who wanted to use the latest technology to make television, video, and films. Here's more on why we are so proud of the new PNN.
Where I wanted to go, home, where I wanted to go, home, where I wanted to go, home, where I wanted to
Earlier in the school year, the SAD Club brought in speaker Alex Sheen. Alex Sheen's message is simple: do what you say you are going to do.
That simple message really got through to students here in the high school. Emily Capelson tells us more.
My name is Alex Sheen, and I am the founder of Because I Said I Would, a social movement and nonprofit dedicated to the betterment of humanity through promises made and kept. To me, it is an...
She would make it keep, she would get out of that habit. She would write this letter, ask an older student to drive her to the place that I worked, where her parents worked. She would sneak in like some kind of middle school ninja, right? Like I imagine her doing like cartwheels, like a little ninja suit. She finds like our inner office mail system, wherever that is, and she drops off this letter. She throws some smoke bombs. She backflips out, you know. That letter would ultimately get to my desk. And that is part of the reason I'm standing in front of you now. Do what they said they were going to do in the first place. To be there for the family. To help a stranger in need. Be a good dad. You see, it's the promises that we make and keep. That's what makes this world.
My father
was in a weird way an inspiration to me. You know, he certainly wasn't a perfect man, but when he died of small cell lung cancer, I was asked to give his eulogy. I reflected on the good things about him because I wanted that to live on. And he was good with his promises. Doesn't seem like many people are like that. And so I guess I realized that day that I wasn't like that and I needed to get better. I titled his eulogy Because I Said I Would, and that kind of set off a domino effect. You know, check out our website, becauseIsaidIwould.com. Follow us on social media just so the message is kind of there with you, and you can be a part of the movement by writing a promise card, sharing it, and making a commitment to improve yourself, your family, your community, or cause. Now, we are starting chapters like around the world, but it's for 18 and older adults, and the second level from that is going to be a club for high schools and middle schools. It's going to take us some time, as things do, but don't use that as an excuse to say, oh, I'm just going to wait for that to happen. That's the thing, we wait for this when all the time. A group of students here could come together to make a unified promise, everyone making the same commitment to better their community in some ways. There's really no reason to wait for a nonprofit or a cause to come along. We each can use the importance of a promise today. We don't need a card, we don't need me, and we don't need these 5 words. So I would encourage students here to think about what they could be committed to and what they could also do together.
Did you know that Parkland High School is the only high school in the state that offers sign language as one of the main choices in the World Language Department?
It's yet another way Parkland distinguishes itself from the rest. And if that wasn't good enough, the signers and other student leaders in language work with our younger students to give them a head start. Here's more about it.
Well, I definitely think it helps them for getting more of a cultural exposure. It also helps them to one day even become an instructor as myself, because I know I started off in their seats and now here I am teaching them. So I definitely think it'll help them in the long run.
Do you like sign language?
Yes.
Do you want to learn more sign language when you get to the high school level?
Yes.
And do you want to maybe be an interpreter one day?
Yes. You can learn like how to talk to people, like with using your hand.
Do you like sign language?
Yes.
Is it better than French?
Yeah.
Do you want to take sign language when you grow up and go to high school?
Yes. Everyone is together and they get to learn something new.
One of the students in the sign language program is quite an inspiration already, but when he needed some extra help, Parkland responded.
Here's a heartwarming story about someone we all know as Jared.
Today we are going to be presenting one of our students, Jared Brown, with 2 checks, one to Victory House and one to the Miracle League for donations for the Christmas season.
I'm Jana Brown. I'm Jared Brown's mom. And when Mrs. Fuller told me that they were doing a fundraiser to give to Jared's favorite charities, I was actually speechless, which doesn't happen often. I think it's the most wonderful thing that all the kids are coming together to help him out in his mission of paying it forward for people who are less fortunate or to organizations that are true to his heart.
Jared has been a student of mine here for 4 years, and this is a student who gives everything of himself to whatever he does, and he loves to contribute and loves to do fundraisers for various causes. And for the club, the ASL club, to be able to contribute and help him with this year means a whole bunch to everybody involved in the club.
How are you feeling today now that you have $2,000 to give to your favorite charities?
Great. It means so much to me.
And are you excited to give it to them?
Yeah. I am.
What do you think when you came into the room and you saw like 100 people sitting there?
I was shocked. Like, I didn't know what to say.
You seemed really surprised throughout the whole thing. Were you?
Yeah, I were.
And are you going to take this into your surgeries now? Are you going to use this to motivate you to get through them?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we wish you all the best of luck, okay?
Parkland High School has made a big push for the sciences. From physics to engineering, it's normal to see students and teachers working together on some very cool stuff.
And PNN has also got in on the fun by making weekly videos for what we call Physics Friday. Here's more from Sam Bartinsky and Sean Conway.
Good heavens, Miss Sakamoto, you're beautiful!
In addition to teaching social studies, one Parkland teacher continues to write about his passion, World War II tanks.
Dale Ritter explains how he started this process and why he enjoys it so much.
I've always been interested in military history, served 4 years in the Army. When I was stationed in Germany, I had the opportunity to meet and talk to some German soldiers, and that's kind of unique. You know, I talked to my family members who served and all that, and getting the perspective of these German soldiers was like, wow, you know, these are the bad guys. So for me, that was fascinating. And I served in the Bradleys, which is a small armored vehicle, and it was kind of similar to a tank. And I just started to get fascinated with these German Tiger tanks. And I found out a lot about them, and that they were like probably one of the best tanks that was in the war, you know, technical capabilities, all that. And that motivated me. And I actually wrote a letter. Little side interest was writing to these German soldiers who had won the Knight's Cross, which is like the Medal of Honor in our military. So I started writing these guys, and it so happened that one or two of them actually served in Tiger tank units. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I like these Tiger tanks. So I wrote to them more often, and they were super nice guys. And they were actually kind of blown away that there was an American interested in their story. So some of them opened up to me, like really opened up to me, and they started sharing everything. And I was like, man, this is awesome. I got to tell these stories. So I just started compiling all the information I could. That's what started it. These guys didn't have the perspective of like the whole battle. They had what they saw. And because they're stuffed inside these tanks, they see what they see out of these vision slits. The one guy, this guy in particular, Dr. Polzin, he served as a loader. And he's stuffed inside this thing, right? He's a loader stuffed inside this tank. He doesn't have a vision. It's like he can't see what's going on outside. So just his perspective of what's going on in a battle is to be inside this big metal behemoth and hear rounds hitting the side of it and striking and ricochets, and just every moment was tense, thinking, is one going to pierce the inside of the tank? At one point he said that just for whatever reason he felt the need to drop down, and he ducked, and as he did that a shell struck the side of the turret, bored its way through, and just sprayed shrapnel all over the inside. And he sat up, you know, after that and realized right where he was, he would have just been peppered, you know, destroyed by shrapnel. And those are the kind of little things, you know. Like I said, it's not, you don't get the whole battle perspective, but to hear them talk about just little incidents like that, that's crazy. And one of the other guys that I mentioned in this book too, Martin Burmester, he's a big part of this. He was a gunner in a Tiger. And he talks about waking up in the morning as the sun comes out, there's 2 enemy tanks, enemy to him, Canadian Sherman tanks, and they're 2 miles away. And he's looking through the binoculars, and he wakes up his commander, and they're like, oh, wow, And so just them aiming up the shot and just that tense moment as he squeezes the trigger, that kind of stuff is the little bits of these stories that fascinated me, and I wanted to write about it. Everybody thinks World War II Germany, Nazis, they're horrible people, and there's no question about the regime disgusting. War is disgusting, but it brings out some crazy things in people. The majority of these guys, these German soldiers, even though they were the bad guys, the enemy, very small percentage of the people in Germany were members of the Nazi Party. So one of the first things I learned was that these guys were just normal people. Just like my grandfather, my uncles and aunts that fought, that served in the military. Just normal people. So getting their perspective of having been kind of forced into this, or serving out of honor and duty, or serving because it's a family tradition, I just realized these guys are just like my family members, So they're serving in these units. They started to open up more and more, and they would share maybe little diary excerpts that they actually kept, or they'd send me copies of their orders and things like that. And it just started piecing everything together, and I could look into the battles that they were in, but instead of seeing it from the general's point of view or some historian's point of view, I'm seeing it from the guy on the ground's point of view. And for me, that's the most fascinating. I love the first-person accounts. I love reading memoirs. So being able to actually start to piece together their stories in the context of the battle, of the whole war, for me, that was the best part. That was fascinating. The next one I'm working on, though, is a whole battalion history of the German Tiger Tank Unit 505.
It was the vision of English teachers, art teachers, and administrators to create an illustrated storybook using only district resources.
Well, it has happened. PNN's Graham Burrell shows us how.
Parkland High School senior Laura Sorrentino was selected by Parkland administrator Dr. Troutman to be the author of a personalized Parkland School District storybook for the kindergarten students.
Last year in creative writing too, we had the option to write a children's book, and Dr. Troutman, I believe it was, read them all and picked what he liked best, and mine was picked, which I thought was really cool. I wasn't going to do it at first, but in creative writing 1 with Mrs. Ng, we did a segment on children's stories, and I wrote one, and I kind of realized that I was kind of good at it, and I wasn't actually terrible. So I thought that I had a pretty good chance. And, it was pretty cool to be picked. It's cool to see your hard work pay off.
The storybook is written specifically about the Parkland schools and will be presented to the kindergartners at the beginning of the school year.
I'm really thankful for the opportunities that all the classes about literacy here at Parkland give. It was definitely the coolest thing that ever happened during all my 4 years. So I'm thankful for the Parkland School Board supporting literacy.
We hope you enjoyed the first ever Pride of Parkland.
Just about all the stories you see on our news shows are actually homework assignments in our morning news and midday classes, but it doesn't seem like homework.
That's especially true for our final story, another new tradition here at PNN. Every month, the students in the PNN crew capture other students and staff just being themselves and having fun.
We call them First Friday Fun Videos, and normally they air during the day on the first Friday of the month. Well, we decided you should enjoy them too.
For all of us here at the Parkland News Network, I'm Mitch Canefo.
And I'm Matilda Kidabwala. Thanks for watching, everyone.
I'm here alone on a desert road, looking for water away back home. I'm ready for a better life. Whiskey eyes and my last cigarette. I wanna wake up with no regret. I'm headed for a better life. I'm tired of running from these shadows, ready to figure out the way to get over you. I know I can be somebody busted heart and it's pouring